The next thing I'm going to show you quickly is how to finish off a project. Stitching away, stitching away, whatever you've done, you come to the end of your project. How do you finish your project? So say we've come to the end of a circle, we've put our last single crochet in, we've put a slip stitch in, we've finished our project. Where do we go now? It's very simple. So all you do is, this is your last stitch, you leave the loop on your hook, you're going to cut your yarn off at a reasonable distance. You know, you're going to want to weave your ends in, but most likely, so leave plenty, and then all you do is just pull on your hook. So if you pull on your hook, it pulls one side through, and then if you pull that nice and tight, it pulls that last stitch tight, and that's it. That's as simple as that. We've got our slip stitch at the start, so that's securing that end, and we've pulled our yarn through, and that's securing that end. So all we need to do now to finish a project, say, is to weave in the ends. I'm just going to grab a leaf to show you how to do it. So this is my loose end. I've finished off, I've pulled my hook through, pulled this nice and tight, and I'm just left with a loose end. It's pretty secure. We probably could cut it here, but if that wasn't secure and you cut it there, your whole project's just going to unravel. So what we need to do is secure this end and basically hide it. So the simplest way to do this, and the way I think about it, is you're going to just thread your loose end through your darning needle, which is just a big blunt-ended needle. It's not sharp. It's sharp enough to get through your wool, but that's it. So thread your needle, and then all you do is, not on the front of your project, turn it over to the back of your project. Is much easier. And then we're going to go with our darning needle. This is where we fastened off, into one of the closest stitches, just through that stitch. Not so we're coming through the other side, make sure it stays on the back, just through that stitch. And then we're going to hold onto our yarn and pull it through. And that's basically it. We're just going to do that over and over again as many times as you want. So just find another stitch pretty close. Just one stitch again, not through the front. Make sure it's not coming through. And then pull it tight. Through another stitch or a couple of stitches there. Pull it through till you pull it tight. And then just keep going like that until you're happy that you've gone through enough stitches that it's going to be well hidden. Again, making sure you're going through a couple of stitches or one stitch on the back and it's not coming through to the front. You can't see your needle through the front. So pull it through. It's much easier when all your yarn is the same colour as your project. So sometimes, you know, if you've used a couple of colours it can be a little trickier, but you'll get the hang of it. Just basically hiding this tail end. When you're happy with your progress and you've hidden it enough, we're going to remove the needle, and then we're just going to trim nice and close to our project. Not too close that you're risking cutting any of your project, but trim the loose end off there, and that's it. That's that end secure and nicely hidden. And then we'll just do the same for this end and that leaf would be finished.